guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We do have some big topics to discuss. Firstly, calma around Nico Williams. This deal will be done at some point this week. There was a bit of tension between Barcelona and his camp due to registration, but that's all now been resolved, and Barcelona plan to pay his release clause this week. Lionel Messi is thinking about coming back to Europe for 6 months ahead of the World Cup next year and wants to stay at the top level and play for a European club, and he is eyeing that move to Barcelona. We'll discuss that as well. Some player departures as well that's been happening recently, and player departures to come as well. Also around the captaincy at the first team. Barcelona as a club want to change it, and they want Flick to have full say and not have the players vote, and they do want to strip Ter Stegen of the captaincy before he leaves Barcelona officially. Finally, we have some big updates in regards to Barcelona's numbers. The financial year just ended. We'll give you guys updates on that, and also on how close Barcelona are to returning to FFP's 1-1 rule. Again, we are not in it right now, but we are so very close. Just 1 or 2 actions needed, and I will discuss how close we are and what actions are needed to make the 1-1 rule a reality for Barcelona. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number 1 Foot. Number 1 Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me 2 kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like, the stitching is fantastic. The quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. Of course, the big update that we do have is on the next imminent summer signing for Barcelona in Nico Williams. The news starts off quite on the bad side. Fernando Polo, so keep in mind, him and Carlos Monfront have been top 2 Barcelona sources, probably top 3 alongside Joan Garcia, and he came out saying that Operation Nico Williams is currently on hold. The player, through his agent, is demanding written guarantee for his official registration, conditions that Barcelona consider unacceptable at this time. Nico is wary of Barcelona's past registration issues regarding Olmo and Pau Victor, and despite the club's assurance about improved financial fair play, he and his agent want firm guarantees on the contract before moving forward. Fernando Polo also said that, look, I'm not saying that Nico Williams' deal won't get done, but the issue has gotten a bit cold. There is not the same fluidity as a few days ago. I don't think it's so much of the payment of the clause. There are aspects that look different on paper. Now, when I first saw this, I'm thinking, who moves like this? You come and twerk for us, like, all right, twerk on us. Then you're like, let me give me a couple things first before I twerk on you. What is this attitude? Is shocking. And they talk about, yes, registration issues. Barcelona have never ever failed to register a player, period. The only time that a player was not registered was Dani Olmo and Pau Victor for one Copa del Rey round 32 game and the semifinal of the Spanish Super Cup. That is it. In the end, they were both registered. Never has Joan Laporta failed to register a player. It's never happened and never will. This fake persona from the media, causes Barcelona sometimes in regards to signings as well, because they think that, oh, we're gonna have big issues and stuff like that, where it's not the case. But apparently they want now registration guarantees, and I saw something thinking, you fucking twat, you twerk for us. Oh, registration, don't even worry about it, we trust you, blah blah blah. These are to get done. We need some registration guarantees. It just annoying. Anyways, Santiago came out saying that Barca's goal is for Nico Williams to not return to Bilbao for preseason and have him for Barcelona on July 13th for medical checkups. Then we had Joan Garcia coming out saying that Barcelona are examining the signing of Nico Williams. Everything is ready regarding his contract. The player's entourage knows that all the documents are ready to facilitate his arrival at the club. The athletic winger is now very close to becoming a new Barcelona player. He also came out saying that Hansi Flick already has everything ready for Nico's arrival as well. He has spoken to him. He has explained the tactical positioning both him and Rafinha are without him in the XI. The coach has already already been ready to play with Nico Williams in the squad, and Nico's environment is very calm about his arrival at Barcelona and believe it will eventually happen. Let no journalist or media fool you. Nico Williams is not demanding anything. The player's environment denies that there are any concerns which are being told to other journalists. At this time, everything is ready to be signed, have the documents signed, very similar to Joan Garcia a few weeks ago. So he's saying there's no real issue, coming, of course, contradicting Fernando Polo's original report. But then a lot of journalists came out confirming Fernando Polo's report. We found Coraz saying that Barca admit that in recent days there has been some tension between the club and Felix Taitan, the agent of Nico Williams. Taitan asked for guarantees that Nico can be registered in La Liga. Some of the club guarantees him implicitly and explicitly. Barca is optimistic about and confident about closing the deal and the arrival of Nico Williams. They're going to pay the release clause in the coming day. Barca believe that this week is key. Everything indicates that they will pay the release clause before Friday or on Friday. Barcelona asked Nico and his agent to give the final go-ahead for the payment of the clause, which, if done ASAP, is better. Candacer then came out saying that Barcelona does not want the saga of Nico Williams to drag on. The club maintains that they will look to pay his release clause this week, even if it's not July 1st or 2nd, aiming to settle the matter very quickly. Of course, right now it's July 2nd, so it hasn't been paid yet. He's not slipping away, and if there were to happen, it wouldn't be because of Nico himself. Nico Kobe then came out saying that Nico's agents are putting pressure on Barcelona and demanding guarantees that they can register him within a week. These demands confused Barcelona owing to the fact that it was Nico's camp who approached the club in the first place. Barcelona can definitely play the release clause plus CPI, but they reportedly won't meet the registration deadline of a week time. However, Barcelona assured Nico that he will be 100% registered, ready to go for the start of La Liga on August the 15th. The payment reportedly won't be imminent, but the signing will still be happening. Barcelona is going to sign Nico Williams, and they could pay the release clause at some time this week. Other than the matter is when the player will be registered. So you're saying it's two different issues. It's not about Barcelona affording the deal or anything like that. They just want registration guarantees. Toto Costa then came out saying that Barcelona is confident about clearing the Nico Williams deal this week. The club plans to pay his release clause while meeting La Liga's 1-1 financial fair play rule, except formal approval between the end of this week or the start of next week. Then we got Fabrizio Romano with the drop saying that it is true that Nico is asking for some guarantees on paper from Barcelona. This is what he has led to some of the rumors over the past 24 hours, but Barcelona's intention remains the same, to continue and proceed for Nico, but Barcelona wants to go and activate the deal for him right now. The agreement between Nico and Barcelona remains 100% done, and Barcelona needs to clarify the technical steps with the Liga to pay the release clause and also discuss with Nico and again his agent. This is why these rumors today is what's going on in terms of guarantees and registration of that. The camp of Nico Williams wants some guarantee on paper about registration of the player. Barcelona wants a player that trusts them and not to create an issue about it. More than the player, it's the player's camp. So it's his agent that's saying that we need registration guarantees, not Nico Williams. So the conversation will continue on these points over the next few days. Barcelona remain active in the deal. They have not left the race whatsoever. And again, their intention is to continue with this operation. Then we enter the next day. Barcelona's idea is to pay the Nico's release clause before or on this Friday, according to La Vanguardia. And then Candacer then came out saying that Barcelona intends to pay Nico Williams' release clause by the end of this week or even on Friday. However, Nico Williams' camp is demanding guarantees, not regarding the club's ability to pay the fees, but the capacity to register him afterwards. They seek a safeguard similar to Dani Olmo's previous clause, which would allow Nico to leave for free if he is left unregistered, something that Barcelona refused to include at this time. The club believes alternative assurances can be afforded and is confident that Nico's desire to join them over Bayern will draw the deal through before his return to athletic training on July the 9th. Finally, we got some positive news. Ivan San Antonio came out saying that it is true that there were some moments of tension between Barcelona and the agent of Nico Williams, but those doubts have now been cleared in the last minute contacts recently between Barcelona and Nico Williams' camp, and the formula was promised for his registration. The club now is very calm between the two parties, and they will hope to complete this after the nerves now have disappeared. Nico, who was on vacation, is now set to return early from his vacation to complete his move to Barcelona. The bureaucratic proceedings are already underway to be able to go to La Liga headquarters and pay his 58 million release clause plus the CPI on top of that. And Gerard Demiro confirmed that as well, and that everything is heading in the right direction for Nico Williams' operation. The misunderstanding between Nico's agent and Barcelona has been resolved. So they wanted guarantees. Barcelona said, nah, just trust us. So we'll see. These guarantees and promises will definitely be coming out after this deal is completed. But again, we are looking to pay his release clause this week, hopefully by the end of this week, is most importantly, because of course on Wednesday next week is when he has to return to preseason training with Athletic Club, and Barcelona and probably Nico as well do not want that. So again, we're hoping to play the release clause this week. It will hopefully be finalized this week. We'll get the here we go confirmation from everywhere once the release clause is played. Again, agreement between Barcelona and Nico Williams Williams is 1000% total and completed. They just wanted some registration guarantees last second. It looks like there has been an agreement reached, whether it be the promise, or I saw a report saying that, if we don't register him, we'll let him leave for the same fee as his release clause, something like that. So something like that will be agreed upon as some sort of condition. But the most important thing is that this deal is still well and truly on track after a bit of a hiccup over the past few days, and we are looking to complete this deal by the end of this week. Now again, there is still no guarantee that Nico Williams will be the only left winger we do sign this summer, as the club are still keeping an eye on the situation of Marcus Rashford. David Ornstein from The Athletic came out saying that Barcelona target Marcus Rashford is prioritizing a move abroad if he does leave Manchester United this summer. Rashford is open to leaving on loan or as part of a swap deal if any suitable opportunity arises, although his intention right now is to return to Manchester United first team training, which begins on July the 7th. Of course, the next week he will not facilitate any sort of move whatsoever, but he wants to leave and move abroad. Again, he says there, leave on loan, swap deal. Basically, he'll do anything. He will do anything to leave Manchester United this summer, especially moving to an abroad country where, you know, money is not going to be on the side of Manchester United. This one, again, like I told you, will be a month of August saga for Barcelona if we do feel like it fits. I think we're going to wait for preseason, see how those reserve wingers do. Your Tony Fernandez, your Rooney Bargi, potentially, of course, no Daniel Rodriguez due to his injury. I think after that the club will make a decision whether they want to go and keep what we currently have, or go in the market and find something else, or maybe trust Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez as wingers, which I do not agree with. I wouldn't mind Rashford, especially if the deal is suitable for us, loan, maybe salary coverage being 50-50 at the absolute most, but this is still a possibility for Barcelona. But Barcelona are going to be playing the long game and maybe waiting for Manchester United to get desperate to then let this deal become more of a reality. Now, there could be another option for Barcelona that could arise maybe at the end of this year, and that is the return of the greatest human being to ever lay their foot on a football, Lionel Andreas Messi. There are reports coming out saying that Leo Messi is considering joining a club in a more competitive league 6 months before the World Cup this upcoming summer in 2026. At one point, he had his contract settled to stay at Inter Miami, but now it's been put on a bit of a delay. Leo Messi's family told me on Friday that he is considering playing somewhere else for 6 months in leading to the World Cup. Again, it's not going to be a permanent move, probably a loan or something like that. At one point, again, his contract was already settled, and now the first clubs that have come to mind are Newell's and Barcelona. So, fuck Rashford, bring back Messi. We can survive, 6 months with 3 wingers. Bring Messi in the new year. You have Messi for 6 months. Oh my god. What we're hearing from Messi's camp and also from Inter Miami's camp, as well as that Leo Messi is under contract until the end of 2025. The reality is that both parties are interested in continuing the relationship. Necessary steps are being taken right now with the mindset to make it happen. Again, we already heard about this a few months ago, that Messi is looking to put in a clause in his contract that lets him leave for 6 months once the MLS season ends at the end of the year, to any suitable club that is of interest in him, to prepare for the World Cup, because he'll be off for 2 months. MLS starts, I think, back in March, so he'll be, quite unfit come June time. He won't be at the peak of his prowess. Of course, he wants to defend that World Championship. I mean, hopefully by then we're going to be in the 1-1 rule. He'll be a brand new signing, new Camp Nou. I mean, I don't see why not. I think the only thing is, can Messi live up to the Flick system? We saw how well he played against PSG, even though they got thumped 4-0, that he can still compete at the highest level, no shadow of a doubt. And again, I hope that other players will, of course, be the ones working off the ball for him. I think this would be a fantastic move, even if he's going to be coming in on a bench role, which he probably won't be. But imagine, you have Messi, Lamine, Rafa, Nico Williams as your base 3 players behind the striker. That is just out of this world good. I think we're dreaming here. I don't think it'll be a reality. I think honestly Messi will probably just end up staying and not playing for 2 months, and then going into the summer World Cup, not raw, but a bit not at the peak. This might be his idea. Whether or not it comes to fruition remains to be seen, but I cannot bear to see Messi play for any other European team. And imagine he goes to, let's say, for example, a Dortmund. Just saying hypothetically. I don't think he ever will go to Dortmund. I think if he goes anywhere, it'll be an English team or a Spanish team. And then we come up against him in the Champions League. I would put a bullet in my mouth. I could not bear to see that. So hopefully this is becoming healthy with FFP. Maybe we can have some room there for Messi. This is definitely one that I would keep an eye on, especially with our summer activities this summer, to maybe make some more space than we already have for this kind of event. If it becomes available at the end of the year, we can definitely bounce on it. But I would absolutely love this. But we'll wait and see if things do come to fruition. Let's firstly just wait and see if Messi actually is able to leave into Miami in the winter. And then after that, his destination will be the hottest topic around football. Let's discuss the players that have been rumored to be leaving Barcelona over the past few days. We firstly have 3 confirmed departures, again, that we've already talked about over the past few days. Firstly, Sergio Dominguez to Dynamo Zagreb, done deal, official. Barcelona reserve a percent of profit from any sort of future sale. So if they sell him for more than 2 million, Barcelona get a percent of that. So wish him all the best in Croatia. Second one is Noah Darvik to Stuttgart, very similar. I think Barcelona owed a percentage of, a profit sale for him. Again, he's gone for a minor fee around 3 million, nothing too crazy, but we do have some sort of control in his future. And finally, the big one, Ansu Fati, official to Monaco on loan by option of 11 million euros. And before leaving on loan, he has extended his contract at Barcelona for another year to, of course, Barcelona to retain his value. And again, Lacun confirmed again that his wages will be split 50-50 between Monaco and Barcelona, which again will free up around 8 million euros in space in FFP for Barcelona for this upcoming season. We've seen a lot of the Barcelona players as well giving Ansu and wishing Ansu luck on social media. I saw, I think, Lamine, Balde, Araujo, and Gavi. So again, he has a very, very connection with the Barcelona squad. Again, I wouldn't say his Barcelona career is 100% over. I think it's probably 90% over. But if he explodes in Monaco, in League, again, if we sign a winger, whether it be Messi or Rashford, they're going to be very, very short term. They're going to leave in the summer. Then he comes back from his loan deal. If, of course, Monaco don't buy him, which to be fair, if they do explode, they will probably buy. If he does explode, they'll probably buy him. But then I believe we do have a buyback option as well, so we can wait and see what now we want to activate that. But I wish Ansu nothing but the best in League, and hopefully we can see some glimpses and cameos of the Ansu that we know before that Isamendi terroristic tackle. Now, along with the incoming of Nico Williams, hopefully to be sealed this week, we are also looking to seal a departure this week as well in Pablo Torre. We all hope that we would get his exit done before the end of the financial year on June 30th, but in the end, that didn't happen. And Carlos Monfront came out saying that Pablo Torre's sale will not be included in the 24-25 financial year. The club would have preferred it, but the more room, of course, in FFP. But Mallorca remains in pole position to sign Torre. A transfer worth around 5 million is expected for Mallorca to own only 50% of the player's right, with the contract running until 2029. The transfer is expected to be completed in the next 24 to 48 hours. We are expecting a very, very soon departure for Pablo Torre. Mateo Marito also came out confirming the news, and the final decision regarding Pablo Torre's future will come soon. Mallorca has a significant advantage over its competitors looking to sign him, and they want Torre's approval. Barcelona and Mallorca are yet to agree on the deal's final figures, which may be around 4 to 6 million euros, but definitely including 50% of a future sale. Also, Ajax have been pushing for Pablo Torre in recent days, although Mallorca is still counting and securing on his transfer. A LaLiga clubs are also inquiring about his situation. Torre's final approval is expected soon. I think I also heard that Marseille are also showing some interest as well, the league owned team. So we'll wait and see. Again, since now the financial year is over, we can take our time, get the best deal for Barcelona, and also what Pablo Torre wants as well, where he feels like the best move. I think the best thing for him is to stay in Spain. The issue is that when you play a team in Spain, he cooks against you. That's where you have your regrets. We can't really include a fear clause because they're going to be owning half the players, right? So we can't really put that in there. But I think he will probably, and I think what's best for him is to stay in Spain. So wait and see. Again, his departure should be finalized in the next week, alongside, of course, the incoming of Nico Williams. Not going to say, as really too much FFP, but money coming in, which would be nice, and getting rid of, a player in the squad to make room for others as well. Now, a player sale in which Barcelona do want to execute, but the player is proving to be working quite difficultly against us, and that is Andreas Christensen. Candacera came out saying that Christensen wants to stay at Barcelona and plans to see out the final year of his contract, having already turned down reported offers from both Saudi Arabia and Juventus. Despite limited game time this season due to injury, he has performed well when he's available. He has performed well when he was available. He's determined to work more for more minutes. Both Christian and his family are happy in Barcelona and appreciate of the support from the club and the fans. Look, if he can just survive until preseason, cook in preseason, I think the perspective can definitely change. But I think right now Barcelona's mindset is to let him go. Again, just like I talked about with Rashford, I can see Christian being an August departure. Again, 1 year left on his deal. If this is, if you want any sort of money for him, now is the time. I can definitely see him leaving in the winter as well if he does not, get too many minutes. With only 6 months left on his deal, you probably will get little, if not nothing, for him. He's on a good wages as well, around 120,000 euros per week. Because of course he came in as a free agent back under Xavi in 2021. But we all know, I think I said this a lot, I think fully fit Andreas Christensen, peak of his powers, starts at center back for Barcelona. I will die on that hill. So we'll see if he can stay put until preseason. Then impressed again. Inigo Martinez was in a very similar situation like this last summer. He stayed. Flick trusted him. Maybe Christensen can do the same thing, but right now the club's mindset is for him to leave, and we'll wait and see. It's up to him to change the club's perspective with his performances and most importantly his availability on the pitch. Another exit in which Barcelona are currently working on is the exit of goalkeepers, whether it be Iñaki Peña or Stegen, as the reserve goalkeepers are now waiting to resolve their futures in the event of 2 goalkeeper departures. Again, we've signed Joan Garcia. We need to have a third goalkeeper, whether it will be Aaron or Diego remains to be seen. I think one of them will most likely stay and one of them will go out probably on loan, maybe even a sale as well. We already saw Andre LaLiga leave over the past few days, official move to Granada, but we're still waiting to resolve the future of Iñaki Peña and Ter Stegen. That we can resolve the future of both Aaron and Diego. Now, one transfer to keep an eye on in the next few days as well is the transfer of Mika Marmol. According to Matteo Morito, he is in advanced negotiation and discussions to sign with Girona from Las Palmas, and don't forget that Barcelona owe 50% of any sale. He has a release clause of 10 million euros, which Las Palmas have been dying on that hill for, that if they're going to let him go, it's going to be for his release clause. So if Girona do activate his 10 million euro release clause, Barcelona will receive 5 million, which means pretty much the most we can receive from Mika Marmol is 5 million. We'll wait and see if Girona do agree some sort of fee with Las Palmas for less. But again, whatever agree they do agree with Las Palmas, we do get half of it. So keep your eyes on this. He's going to be moving back to Catalonia, but not for Barcelona, for Girona. And to be honest, if Girona buy him for 10 million, they can have Romeo for free. We can just chuck that into the deal as well. But yes, the departure for Marmol is expected in the next few days, which Barcelona hopefully will receive some nice chunk of money from that fee. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First one is quite a big one. It is around the captaincy hierarchy in the first team. Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that given the strategic plan to phase out Ter Stegen, there's a growing opinion within the club that the captaincy structure should be adjusted and that the coach should intervene. If any change is necessary, Hansi Flick should be the one to carry it out, especially if he believes the team needs a captain whose future at the club isn't in doubt. Inigo Martinez is seen as an ideal candidate to join the captain group. So of course, Ter Stegen is leaving. If you want to even push him out even more so, strip him from the captaincy. And after what he did against Villarreal of not doing the speech and stuff, you're damn right he should be stripped of it. Now, this season we had 5 captains. We had Ter Stegen number 1, Araujo number 2, Frankie de Jong number 3, Pedri number 4, Rafinha number 5. The reason why we had 5 captains is because Ter Stegen is in goal, so someone has to be out on the pitch to speak with the referee. Because if there's a penalty on the other side, Ter Stegen ain't gonna sprint over to talk with the referee. That's why we have 5. Usually Barcelona only has 4 captains. So with that being said, for me personally, I think it's very important for the players to vote on it. Again, the players have been voting it at Barcelona for years and years and years now, but now the club see something different. They want maybe Flick to make that choice instead. I think you don't want any bad blood. You don't want any bad bones. You don't want any excuses or, a point approved with an argument. I would let the players vote on it, and I would again stick to 4. There's not Joan Garcia or Szczesny are not going to get votes to be the goalkeeper, be the captains. We don't have to worry about having 5. I would have 4. Again, it is quite crazy to me to think that the captain of the first team of Barcelona is Ronald Araujo, so you want to have, a full revote. I don't mind, but I would probably keep it with the 4 that we already have: Araujo, Frankie, Pedri, and Rafa. With Any, I think he's definitely, of course, captain material, but he's going to be gone next summer. In the best case scenario, in the worst case scenario, I would say best case, maybe he has 1 more year after the season coming up in him, but there's no long-term, substance to him whatsoever, so I would maybe avoid that a little bit, but I would make sure the players have a say, because if they don't and you change everything and we have a different captain, then Araujo is going to feel like shit, then he was going to probably, cause us issues and stuff. So I'd be very, very cautious in how the club do approach this, because the players do care, whether you like it or not. When you have the captains, you set the rules in the first team, so it feels much better when you vote for that person instead of that person being assigned. So if I say, oh, I have my friend Jack, I want him to be my captain because he's a nice guy, he thinks of all the logic. I don't want Steve, even though Steve maybe is a good captain material. I don't want Steve to be it. And then I just hear that the boss comes down, oh, no vote, Steve's the captain. I would be a bit annoyed. And Steve would tell me, oh, don't forget to be late for, if you're late for work, I'm gonna fine you. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, Steve. So I mean, it's like, I think the players should at least vote. Maybe Flick can have a final say, but I think the players should definitely vote on it. But yes, please strip Ter Stegen of his captaincy. Does not deserve it after what he did last season of, you know, ditching the flight to enter, not doing the captain speech at the final home game of the season as well. And wait and see what the club and also Flick do decide on how to structure the captaincy going into next season. Now, heading into the following season, we are going to be seeing some big changes into what Barcelona do in the off-season. One of them is going to be improvement of the fitness regime. Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that it was noticed that when a player from Barca Athletic team filled in for the first team, there was a very clear and obvious gap in strength and power between the reserve and the senior squad. This limited Hansi Flick's ability to rely on Barca Athletic players when there was a shortage or specific need. As a result, the club is now looking to appoint a strength specialist to assist Julio Tuz in this area, someone that will be closely associated with Barca Athletic, focusing specifically on their physical development, and Barca want to apply the same training regime to the athletic team as they use in the first team. The club wants players from Barca Athletic to be optimal physical condition and to see, you know, significant potential in talents like Javier Torrens, Landry Frey, Juan Vergil, Ibrahim Diarra, and Pedro Fernandez. Also, another priority is ensuring that Barca Athletic under Julio Balletti's supervision adopt the same tactical approach as established by Hansi Flick with the first team, so that players remain tactically stable as they progress upwards. This will also allow them to deliver immediate performances and benefits when stepping into the senior squad. And we knew that Pep and Luis Enrique did this a lot in their time. Of course, Pep had a really good relationship with the Barca B team coach at the time, same with Luis Enrique as well. So this is going to be very, very important to keep everything the same structure. That way it's not two different styles, two different phases of play, do different ideas. You want them to be, you know, coinciding, similar. That way there's no wide and, you know, significant jump in between the two. Now, in terms of players returning for preseason in regards to their fitness, Araujo and Bernal do want to return early. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that July 13th is the official date to set by the club to start preseason. However, Ronaldo Araujo and Marc Bernal have requested to return early, cutting their vacation short in order to resume training this week. They will be supervised by Barcelona's coaching staff during this period, as a tailored 2-week training plan is being prepared for them ahead of rejoining the squad for the rest of, you know, the preseason. So Bernal and Araujo want to come back early. They made the request in. Barcelona have accepted it, so they might be maybe a bit fitter than the rest of the lads, but again, fantastic mindset. But wait and see what Barcelona do. Again, we are expecting to hopefully appoint a fitness coach for the B team. That way they can have similar ties with him and Julio Tuz with the first team as well. Juliano Balletti as well is going to be having his first season as a Barca Athletic manager after his treble winning tenure with the under-19 teams. Fully deserved promotion from him. So hopefully Barca Athletic, again, they got relegated this past season. Hopefully they can have a good enough squad and have good enough style of play, physique, condition to earn the promotion back to where they were relegated from last season. Now, one of the craziest pieces of updates that we did get over the past few days is in regards to the COVID deferred salary payments, which of course we started talking about when I first started this YouTube channel almost 5 years ago now. All the payments looked to be paid off. Sport came out saying that Barcelona has completed the final 60 million payment of the 121.7 million in deferred salary agreed upon in 2020 squad during the financial crisis under former president José Mario Barto Cunt, but of course mainly due to the fact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The deferral covering 42.9% of fixed and 100% of variable wages included renewed players like Ter Stegen and De Jong, who was scheduled in 8 installments during the ending of June 30th, 2025. The pay benefits 21st team players, 9 Barca Athletic players, and 4 technical staffs, including Koeman, who deferred nearly 6 million euros of his salary. Messi topped the list with 5.96 still owed from his 47.6 million salary, followed by Umtiti, 9.9 deferred, Busquets, Griezmann, Alba, Coutinho, and others, and many young players deferred under 1 million euros. So all the payments are done, which means that every last bit of, shittery that this cunt did is fully gone. 4 to 5 years later, hard work from Joan Laporta and his team, not only to pay off these deferred wages, but also readjust them and renegotiate them a lot of the time as well. He of course screwed us over, Bartomeu, by renewing 4 or 5 players, but was it long left Frankie, Ter Stegen, and Piqué before he left, and giving them a salary increase with the deferred salary as well, which absolutely screwed us. And now one of the reasons why we kind of, we're fucked with FFP over the past few years. But finally, the burden is finally over, and we can move on from what this twat has done to our club. Didn't think about this really. I remember we talked about this, I think, last summer, that we still have to, pay the COVID salaries, but now all the COVID salaries are done, paid, and delivered to multiple players, like I already mentioned in the report initially. But big moment this is. We can finally put the past behind us and look to the future. Now, with June the 30th, of course, concluding and ending, that of course means that Barcelona's financial year for the 24-25 season has concluded, and we do have some updates in regards to that. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona closed the 24-25 financial year with a profit of nearly 33 million euros from transfer activities. This total includes both first team and Barca athletic operations, all while staying within financial fair play limits. So in the 1-3 rule, we still managed to, accumulate 33 million euros in profit, of course, with the sale of Victor Roque, the sale of Nico Williams, Mika Marmol, Julian Araujo, Jean-Claire Todibo, Alex Valle. We had some signs as well on Pablo Torre and McBacken and stuff like that. We got, of course, that percentage from Ferran Jucla and stuff like that. So 33 million euros in profit for transfer activities. The club also confirmed that Barcelona's Espai Barca sponsorship program officially takes effect in July the 1st of 2025. If it guarantees 43.6 million in annual recurring sponsorship income from Espai Barca assets, the club has already secured 300 million euros in constructional obligated income for the coming years as well. Of this, 44.6 million comes from Espai Barca specific partners. 286 of it is from global sponsors with the rights to Espai Barca assets like Spotify, Nike, Ambula TV, Cupra, whatever it may be. And they also confirmed that Barcelona, through its merchandise arm of Barcelona License and Merchandising BLM, achieved a record financial sale in the 24-25 season. The club tripled its e-commerce income and saw a 30% rise in retail store revenue, with 2 million people visiting the Spotify Camp Nou megastore alone, despite no matches being played there. And the best-selling shirts came from Gavi, Lamine, Lewandowski, Pedri, and Rafinha, in no specific order, of course. If there's an order, I'll probably guess Lamine, Pedri, Rafa, Gavi, Lua. But yep, money-wise, we are on the up. And speaking of shirt sales as well, we were expecting a big announcement yesterday on Lamine Yamal taking the number 10, with Ansu Fati leaving, of course, and that the Monaco being official. He's been teasing it on his IG story as well, but Lamine asked Barcelona to postpone the announcement to the his birthday on July 13th, when he extends his contract officially, and they can announce it then. And Barcelona did agree. I think that was the original plan, and then Barcelona moved it forward to now because they want to announce it when they were announcing the new kit, which should be announced at some point today. But then Lamine said, "This, can we just wait for my contract? That can just be my day, renewal and number 10 and all this crap." And Barcelona, of course, said yes in the end. So expect that at some point next week. But again, in regards to the financial year, we do end on a positive, and hopefully the same for the upcoming years. Now, one big piece of news that we got recently is, as you can see on the screen, the La Liga schedule for the 2025-2026 season was officially selected and announced yesterday. You can see there, first 3 games of the season are going to be away from home to prepare the Spotify Camp Nou. The first official game for the Spotify Camp Nou's return will be September the 14th at home against Valencia. First 3 games are going to be away: Mallorca, Levante, and Rayo Vallecano. Of course, we had Rayo Vallecano last season in our second away game. Mallorca away. Pablo Torre is going to cook, man. I can already see it now. First El Clasico is going to be in October, as it usually is, and it will be at the Santiago Bernabeu. Second one will be at the Camp Nou. Again, very similar time frames to last season. We had, I think, the first one at the end of October, second one at Camp Nou, or Montjuic, beginning of May. So very, very similar structure to this one. We play, where's Atletico Madrid here? We play Atletico Madrid at home first in the beginning of January, start off the year. That'll probably be right after the Spanish Super Cup as well, which is going to be fucking annoying as shit. And then we play them away in April. So our first, few games are actually not too bad. So it's at home, Real Oviedo away, Getafe at home, which is going to be treacherous, of course. We probably don't have it. We probably have even the games between Madrid, Girona at home, Elche at home, Athletic Club, Alaves, maybe Celta Vigo away, and then Athletic Club at home will be tough. Betis away again, Benito Villamarin back in December. We had that last season as well. Also sooner than Villarreal away, Barcelona derby to start off the year. So we're gonna have Barcelona derby, Spanish Super Cup, Athletic Madrid at home. That is gonna be holy shit hard. So we gotta lock in on the before the Christmas break. Coming back to the Christmas break is gonna be quite crazy. I think we get to skip the Copa del Rey first round next season. That's why we have the Espanyol game there first instead of an actual Copa del Rey game. Looking at the second half, Villarreal to the club back to back is gonna be tough. Atletico Madrid, then Espanyol back to back. Also Osasuna and Alaves away, in between them El Clasico at home. honestly, there's no real like terrible run that I see. We have maybe some bad games back to back, but you look at the the first Clasico, we have Girona and Elche at home, so that shouldn't be any real concern. Again, we don't know when the Champions League games are going to fit into this, but overall, not too bothered about the schedule. Waiting to see. We of course had 3 home games to start off with. Are there any back-to-back home games? We have back-to-back against Athletic Club and Alaves, back-to-back against Valencia and Getafe, back-to-back against Sevilla and Vallecano in March. So we have 3 times where we have back-to-back home games. So overall, I'm not actually too bothered about it. I like the fact that we have second El Clasico at the Camp Nou, first 3 games away. Our first run of games are actually quite straightforward, I would say. Maybe Sanchez Pizjuan is going to be a bit difficult. And again, the first 3 away games. If we just survive those first 3 away games, I think we'll be quite set here. There's nothing real too crazy that I can see here where I would say this is a damaging run or anything like that. And this is a pretty well balanced schedule for Barcelona, to be fair. But hopefully we can go out there and defend our La Liga title. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for the end of this video is in regards to Barcelona's current stance with financial fair play. Of course, we want to sign Nico Williams this week. They're already, his entourage are crying about his registration, but Barcelona are close to returning to the 1-1 rule. According to Catalonia Radio, Barcelona is reportedly just 8 million euros away from going back to the 1-1 rule, and Frankie de Jong's contract extension and Pablo Torre's departure will be enough to help Barcelona reach its objective to return to the 1-1 rule. So we're a departure and a renewal away pretty much from getting there. The club initially were thinking about maybe selling someone to get there quickly, like for example Araujo, but in the end that didn't come to any fruition whatsoever, which of course is fantastic news. So 8 million euros left, which again we can free up for the Frankie de Jong extension and the Pablo Torre departure as well. Javier Tebas, the Liga president, has been twerking and speaking about Barcelona like no tomorrow, and he keeps on saying that as of today Barcelona cannot reach Nico Williams, which again is obvious, it's quite clear, but hopefully in the next few days we can return to the 1-1 rule for the first time in a year and a half or so, which again will be a fantastic boost for Barcelona, and a boost that we probably drastically do need as well. It is one that it's been taking a long time to get there, but we are just now at the finish line. Hopefully we can finish with our held high and hopefully finish there as quickly and as effectively as possible. I would love to do it by the end of this week. We can definitely get the Torre departure this week, maybe even Frankie's extension, and then you're there. Then you can activate the release clause of Nico Williams, have him registered hopefully in the next 2 weeks, definitely before La Liga without a shadow of a doubt. So everything now hopefully is falling into place for Barcelona. Just one more final hurdle to get to the objective that we need. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss, mainly around that signing of Nico Williams. Think it will happen this week or not. Secondly, on Lionel Messi's potential return, you think if he does move back to Europe, do you think that Barcelona is an ideal and actually legitimate destination for him? Thirdly, captaincy, what would you do in regards to that hierarchy? Would you pick it? Would you have the players vote? Would you strip Ter Stegen right now or wait for him to leave and then just kind of move on? And finally, your thoughts on Barcelona's return to FFP. Think we will get there in the end and have no registration issues this summer? Or do you think we will have registration issues anyways? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca. Yeah.